today we find ourselves on day 12 of 2020. Say 12. Check it out. From the Hebrew, 12 means dancing enforcer. No, I'm trying to tell you something right here. It means authority to enforce and point people into their into your destined position. Shout 12.
12.
Say this with me. I am moving into my destined position. So check it out. Pay. Now, pay is the letter of this year, 5780. It's really the letter of 80. You know, in Hebrew, the numbers have meanings also. And 5780 or 80 means pay, and it means it's a picture of the mouth, or it means to decree, or you have a voice. Ayin is the letter of Tevet, which is the Hebrew month that we're in. It's Ayin. And check it out. It means to be empowered, to be released out of a stuck place. Say this. I am moving out of my stuckedness. Lamed, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'd have to ask Lisa, or Lamed is the 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it means like a staff, like a shepherd's staff. And so a shepherd has authority to move things toward a destination. Say, I decree, I am empowered to move into my destined place. So as we've discussed many, many times, Hebrew, DM, would you bring my water? Hebrew letters have numeric value. Now, Hebrew is a complicated, complex, ancient language, and I'm certainly not a scholar in all of this, but thank God for Hebrew, for Christians. And here's what 20. Now, we've talked about 12. It means authority, to move into position. And I looked up that word 20 because here we are. We're going to be in 20, and we're going to be in 20 for 10 years. And so the word 20 is a letter that is made up of two letters, Kaf, and it causes these two letters together cause a process of movement. It's a movement. One letter is potential and one letter is actual. So there is movement from the potential to the actual. You're moving from the potential that's in an unseen realm to the actual that is in a seen realm. In other words, 20 means movement from potential to actual, from the unseen to the seen, from the impossible to the possible, from sick to heal, from poverty to prosperity. Say this, I am empowered to move today. I am a dancing enforcer. We are somewhere, as Deanne's already said, where we haven't been. We're not where we used to be. Tell your neighbor, thank God. We're not where we used to be, but we're not where we're about to be. So that has happened many, many times in history. And this is a bit of a review, but let me tell you what God does every time those moments in history have happened. God has anointed forerunners, explorers, trailblazers, pioneers who say this: I don't know what's on the other side of the mountain, but I'm going over. I don't know what's on the other side of the river, but I'm going through. I don't know what's ahead, but I'm moving forward because I'm a dancing enforcer. I'm going from potential to undeniable. I'm going from potential to tangible. I can feel it. There it is. Right there it is. I'm going from potential to actual. So I said, all of that is rather review. And I said, so God, what is trending for 2020? We got to be aware of the trends, or you can get stuck. I've heard Deanne say this several times. That hairdo was out of the 70s. You know what I'm saying? You got to be aware of the fashion trends. You got to be aware of the color trends. Trend means change or to shift. It means style. But it means general direction of something as it moves. We must be ready and willing to accept the trends and shift our way of thinking. Deanne's already talked about it in 2020. Let me tell you what's trending right now. According to just the month of Tevet. So we'll talk about that since we're celebrating the Hebrew month of Tevet today. What's trending in Tevet is this month is a take charge month. This month is a take responsibility month. This month is announce my future month instead of rehearsing failures and unbelief. So here's the current trends in the area of words, or the current trends in the area of our voice. Listen, you and I were not designed to release empty, idle words. We were designed to release words of prosperity and fullness. I say it like this: there's a threshold that we have stepped over that's creating a dynamic energy that we have never experienced before. Amen. We've not been there. We've not been where we are right now. It is so exciting. And here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to adapt as we go. We're going to have to... Deanne never did like for me to say this, but she's going to like it now. We're just going to have to make it up as we go. Tell your neighbor, I'm a dancing enforcer. Yeah, I'm a dancing enforcer. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove this by the word. I'm going to go to Acts 27. Don't go there, because you'll get all bogged down. Because I'm not going to read it out of the King James. I'm not going to read it out of the Mirror Bible. I'm not going to read it out of the Amplified Bible. I'm not going to read it out of the NIV Bible. I'm going to read it out of Sandy's Bible. All right. Here's what's trending in 2020. Paul got on, this is talking about Paul, he got on a ship as a prisoner. Now, just remember that. He got on the ship as a prisoner. He's got his destiny is to go to Rome because he's going to be tried as a religious fanatic. So he gets on that ship as a prisoner. And even though he was a prisoner, he was respected. And he basically told them this. He said, this voyage will be dangerous for the ship and for our lives. But the centurion and the owner of the ship, they didn't believe Paul and they sailed on. Have you ever spent time with somebody and you gave them your best advice and you shared the truth and you tried to help somebody and they sailed on? Just saying. Tell your neighbor, not me, not me, no. And so what happened? The storm came and all hope that they would be saved was taken away. And here's what Paul said. Sirs, you should have listened to me. Yeah, he was a good apostle. But then here's what he said. He said, you should have listened to me, but get happy because an angel... Listen, I want to tell you what's trending for 2020. What's trending for 2020 is joy and the angelic. Yeah, they're trending. Joy. He said, get happy. Listen, the storm has come and it's a mess. He said, get happy. I've been visited last night by an angel and from God whom I serve and whose I am. And the angel said, fear not, Paul. You have to appear before Caesar. That's your destiny. That's what's trending. Joy is trending. The angelic is trending. Destiny is trending. And then another thing is trending. And the angel said to Paul, your destiny is you're going to go to Caesar. So you're going to get there. And everybody that's on this boat with you is going to be safe. I'll tell you what's trending in 2020. Alignment. You need to be on the right boat. So now, I just said something right there. So let's see what's trending. Joy is trending. The angelic is trending. Destiny is trending. Alignment is trending. And he says, Paul says, the storm has come, Deanne. I believe God. I don't believe the wind and the waves. I don't believe all these people that's trying to throw me overboard. I believe, that's what's trending. I believe God that it's going to happen just the way it was told me. By now, the ship is sinking. All of a sudden, this man who got on the ship as a prisoner is now a happy, dancing enforcer. It's trending. So Paul he goes from a prisoner to a commander. Now here's what I came to say. If you have destiny not yet fulfilled, lift your hands. If you've got destiny not yet fulfilled, fully fulfilled, you have the ultimate leverage over a sinking ship. Hey! Now you can post that. If you have destiny not yet fulfilled, you have the ultimate leverage over a sinking ship. Okay, let's go over it again. So here's the angel. He comes. He says, fear not. Your destiny is you got to go to Rome. You got to appear before Caesar. And everybody with you will be saved. Get happy and believe God. And by the way, Paul is talking. There's going to be a side trip to a certain island. All right, so there's a big storm. Tell your neighbor, I know what she's talking about right there. I know. But I got leverage. There's a big storm. The ship is about to break apart. The soldiers and the crew, they're about to jump overboard. But here's what Paul said. Now, he's moved from a prisoner to a commander. He's in charge now. Paul said, if you don't stay on this ship with me, I just want to have that kind of confidence. With this, everything that we're facing, I just want to have this confidence right now. Paul said, if you don't stay on this ship with me, you won't be saved. And furthermore, and I really like this part, Deanne, he said, let's eat. I'm just telling you, that's what it said. It said that in the King James Bible. He said, you get off this ship, you won't make it. And he said, I know the wind and the waves. I know this ship is breaking apart. I know all that. Let's eat. Because he said, you're going to need strength for what's ahead. So they do. They bring out the food, they eat. And then the ship fell apart. So here's what it says. So Paul said, okay. Those that can swim, they got close to this certain island. And so he said, okay, those of you who can swim. He said, you jump out and you swim to shore. But those of you who can't, I want you to get on those broken pieces and those boards of that ship. And you'll make it safely to a certain island. Listen, I want to tell you something. I don't want to make light of anybody's brokenness, but I just feel like we're in a season of time where you can jump on top of that broken piece of your life, and you can be empowered to float on into your destiny. You get what I'm saying? Does that speak to anybody in this house? Just get on your brokenness and float in. It's going to take you to your purpose and destiny. So they float in. Some of them swam and some of them floated in on the broken pieces of the ship. And they made it safely to the island. It was called Malta. To this day, there's an island called Malta. Malta was an island of a barbarous people. They were cruel. They were brutal savages. So they went from shipwreck. The whole thing has fallen apart. They've had to swim in. They've had to float in on a board. And they end up in a certain island that the commander has told them that they're going to go to. And it happens to be a group of people that kill people that aren't like them. Kind of sounds like Deanne was talking about. They were cruel, they were brutal, and they killed people that weren't like them. They got to this island, and all of a sudden, these barbarous people were kind. They made a fire, and they began to bring them food. What happened? Paul began, I just like a leader who will just roll up their sleeves and get in the deal. And here's Paul. He's the commander now. He's telling them what to do. They're on there. They're safe. And this barbarous group of people, all of a sudden, that's their DNA, and their DNA, listen, I wish I could teach on that, but their DNA got shifted because of the DNA and the gratitude and the kindness that the men had and were emanating out of themselves, and all of a sudden it changed their DNA and they were kind. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother deal right there. So Paul is out there and he's gathering sticks for the fire because they're going to have some food and it's going to be wonderful. And you probably read this if you've been saved for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, a big serpent, snake, latches on as he's digging around down there in those sticks, latches on to his arm. And then all of a sudden they said, oh, he must be a murderer. We'll just wait on him to swell up and die. Have you ever thought that there were people around you just waiting on you to just swell up? Yeah. So he must be a murderer. And we'll just wait on him to swell up and die. But I'll tell you what Paul did. He just shook it off. Let's just shake it off right now. He shook off that snake. And when he shook off that snake, all of a sudden they changed their mind. And they thought that Paul was a god. So then the chief of the island, I'm telling you some things that are trending. So the chief of the island invites Paul, now that, like, okay, he's not a murderer and he's shaking this thing off and all that, I'm going to invite him to my house. All of a sudden, the chief's father gets like deathly sick. And so Paul heals him. He heals him. And then everybody else that's sick on this little tiny island, a barbarous people that somehow or another had their DNA changed and now they're like kind and loving and all of that. And so here Paul is in the house of the king or the chief of this island. His dad is sick. He gets him healed. They bring all the people that are sick to the chief's house, and he heals every single one of them. Let me tell you what's trending. Healing is trending in 2020. Others come from all over and they get healed. So here's what the island did. They came together. I tell you what, I got a new perspective. Listen, I've been saved most of my life. I've read these stories a bazillion times. But there's something new. There's something different. There's something trending, even of these stories that we've read many, many times. And what is trending in this particular story is that this island came together and gave them a new ship. Say, transfer of wealth. You know, we've been talking about the transfer of wealth for a long, long time. It's trending. It's trending in 2020. I'm just going to go ahead and believe. I'm going to go ahead and get happy no matter what is going on. I'm going to go ahead and see the angels. Just see them. They're everywhere. Just see them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have joy. I'm going to go ahead and let the promotion come. I'm going to go ahead and be aligned. I'm going to go ahead and get on the right ship. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to believe God for prosperity and a transfer of wealth. The Bible says that in King James it said they laden down and filled the ship up with everything that they would need to finish their journey. And so they gave them the ship because, remember, it was destroyed. So what's trending? A dancing enforcer. So what's trending? Destiny is trending. Angels on assignment. I'm telling you, that angel went there. There was an assignment. That angel, that's trending. Angels on assignment. Joy is trending. Alignment is trending. Promotion is trending. Authority is trending. Transfer of wealth, whatever that might be, whatever resource that might be. That will bring, all of that will bring a triumphant conclusion to the promises of God over your life for 20. There is a movement that has started in 20. A movement. Everybody believes that they got potential on the inside of us. You got potential. There's potential. There is a seed of potential. It didn't just get there. It got there before the foundations of the earth. God created us and or put that seed in us before we ever landed here on the earth. That seed is ancient, and it is coming forth. There's going to be a conclusion in 20 that is a conclusion to the promises of God for our life. And the other thing that's trending is we just need to agree. Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes.